So we're going to attempt to paint me a sign on this canvas. And guys, this canvas is the 11 by 14 that came from Dollar Tree. Additionally, these brushes, this brush set, it also came from Dollar Tree. And I'm super excited about this because, guys, in this set you have a number 6 flat, you have a number 2 flat, and you have a number 6 bristle brush point. Stencil brush from Dollar Tree. This is the stencil brush if you need to for your pouncing. What you'll want is you'll want you a palette. I use a flat plate because whenever you use a palette that has the holes in it, it's impossible to blend. Blending, you need something that has a surface that you can actually put two colors together and blend them into your brush so that they work up the bristles. And I'll show you more of that as we go along. And then an array of different paint colors. Anything from yellows, greens, reds, blues, purples, depending on what you're painting. And of course, by all means, black and white. This is great to be framed or to make a frame around it so that it sits back. It is just great, and I could not believe my find. I could not believe this was at Dollar Tree. Hopefully your Dollar Tree will have a 11 by 14 canvas. They do have the 8 by 10s, and they have the smaller ones as well. For this particular thing, I'm going to be I'm going to make this into a sign, and I am going to be hanging it up in my home. And I found this on Pinterest, this saying, and so I'm going to put some flowers on here. Thought I'd bring you guys along with me. A few details before we get started. If you have an idea of what your sign is going to look like or what painting you're doing, and you possibly can, since this is on a amateur basis, I've sketched out some placement with an idea in mind. Then I can easily erase them because I've sketched them out with a pencil and I've done a very light sketching. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys, when you use a pencil, the great thing about graphite is it's not permanent and you can take it off, but it will stay there until you remove it. The second thing, if you will always use a white eraser, it will remove all of the graphite and leave no residue whatsoever. Now this is a cotton canvas, so it's very white, very starlit white, and that's great. You can, if you needed to, put a base coat on this and then put your other details in it. I'm putting flowers on this because of my saying. I am very sewn to this saying, so much so that I have planned to do it and I wanted to share it with you. Your life is your garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. If your life is not awesome, you've been watering the weeds. And I just love that. It's so true. This is kind of the metaphor. These are actually herbs, and they are all beneficial to our body, and they feed us. This is my garden, and this is how I see the world. Everything has a use, and herbs we know are the most beneficial to us. They are our medicine. With that being said, let's get to painting. The first one I'm going to work on is this Queen Anne's lace. Hello there. I'm sorry to interrupt you during the filming of this video. I'm Elizabeth, and this is the Dandy Soap DIY channel. This is a collaboration being put on by Michelle's Cozy Home, along with 9 other creators here on YouTube. She has asked us to put together some of our favorite inspirational quotes, sayings that would inspire us and hopefully inspire you. These are inspirational signs or wall art that you can use every single day. This first part of this video that I've interrupted you in, I am demonstrating painting for beginners. And if you would like to see how I put this entire piece together, there is a link underneath here in the description box. It says full tutorial painting for beginners. Click on it and you can go right alongside of me and see how I put this together in full. But this is just a sample. Now the second part of this video, I've taken a Dollar Tree sign and I have spruced it up a little bit, put one of my favorite biblical sayings in it, and placed it by my coffee pot. And it's about faith. I believe that anything is possible as long as we have faith. My friends, my pals, if you've come from their channel, thank you so much for taking your time to view my video. If you like what you're seeing, please give me a thumbs up. Leave comments, because if you enjoy what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. You will receive notification each and every time I put up a new video first before anyone else. So without further ado, let's get back to the video. And right here I have some Green Forest by Folk Art, and I have some Thicket as well. So blending is when you move your brush back and forth. So I'm touching one on one side and touching one on the other. Try not to get them mixed up, but you'll blend them next to each other. That way you can easily touch one then the other. Queen Anne's lace has a little bit of brown and even like a gold. So I'm going to touch this gold and see if that will give me what I'm looking for. And here's the brown. This is actual maple syrup, and I'm touching it on the same side as that Green Forest. And maybe these four will actually give me the color I'm looking for. If not, I'll paint over it. And I'm going to be pulling upward, so I'm going to be on the chisel of my brush, and I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to like push it, and hopefully y'all will be able to see. I'm just dragging it upward, all the way up, and I'm just pushing it out, just taking my branches outward. You can see closer what I'm doing. Now this time I'm going to come towards the branch. So the Queen Anne's lace is very distinct in how it comes inward like umbrella. So think of an umbrella when you do your Queen Anne's lace. And I'm just bringing it inward. And I can come up here and do that on this one. So think of an umbrella, how an umbrella would be. And stay on your chisel. Bring it inward. And the way the leaves are, they're kind of elongated and straight. So you're going to kind of lay your brush down, so to speak. And that way when you hit, you've got a little bit of a branch there. And so if you wanted to, you can kind of come off the branch. You'll lay that down to a point. Because they're kind of, they're elongated and narrow. They're really narrow. So that's not very close, but if we needed to, we could flip our brush and come down the other side, make them more elongated. Then I roll my brush again, make them more elongated. This video is in collaboration with Michelle's Cozy Home, along with 9 other great creative gals here on YouTube. Remember, the playlist is in the description box below. Okay, let's work on the dandelion over here. And once again, I'm going to lead with the Green Forest. Now the leaves on a dandelion, guys, are really like a sword. And the way that I do them, I don't try to be perfect on them at all, because they lay really flat to the ground, real close to the ground. So I go up when I do them, and I do a circle, and then I come back. Once again, I go up, I do a circle, and then I come back. That creates the beginning. Since I've already got this part done, if you really want it to be in proportion, I'm going to roll the green and bring the gold towards me. And remember, I've got this piece already going there. So you can kind of come down like this if you want to. Just kind of, let me show you. Just kind of, I'm coming off of this, and I'm just doing kind of a wiggle, so to speak. And then I'm going to go to this side, and I'm going to once again come into that oval and just kind of not be perfect, because they are very strong. Now that I've got that part, I can go back up here and put that oval back in so it looks more like the dandelion. Now I've touched me some white after I've mixed all those colors in there. You guys are going to love making the lavender, so we're going to do the greenery of it first, and then we'll go back and put the lavender in. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm just going to every other, make pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. We're just kind of making our background for this lavender. Put one over here, just a little bit of green, just kind of putting it there, because we'll make the lavender more apparent. The cool thing about doing the lavender is you can start about anywhere. I generally start about midways, and you're on the top of your chisel, the flat of your, instead of laying it down, you're going to be straight up and down. And we're just going in there and putting little buds, and just stay straight. You can go right over top of that green, right inward with that green, and you're doing a back and forth like we talked about a while ago. So see how I'm just back and forth, because that's how lavender grows on the plant. That green. And I may have to do it and then go back over it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Just pounce, pounce, pounce. And just stay just above those little branches we created. Alright, now we need to do our dandelion the same way. And we can real easily pick up this gold over here, what's left of it, and we're going to make our dandelion ball. The last thing I wanted to add is make sure that you sign your work. Sign and date it. Initial it or sign it and date it. But always sign and date your work. And it will give you something to go back and look at and go, wow, you know, that was when I was really beginning, or just had been out of it for a while, just get back into it, because painting is just like anything else. You have to practice. And if you've not been painting for a long while and then you go back to trying to paint, you have to retrain yourself. And that's basically what's happened to me, is I'm just now been painting, and you guys have been seeing a lot of my beginning painting where I'm picking it back up again. I used to paint all the time, and I had other things going on in my life, so I'm just now getting back to doing the painting. And I'm having to practice, because there's a lot of things that I have forgotten, and you can tell by my painting that it's not very good. It gets it done, but it's not nowhere close to being the best it could be. And just practice. Just don't regret or dread. Just have fun. Enjoy it. It's very, very relaxing and can reduce stress, and it's healthy. It's very healthy. It's one of the best hobbies you can have is to paint or draw or color. Any kind of internal self-expression. So I just wanted to show you guys that I got all of that written out. I'll have to clean it up, but those smears, that was my fault. I got in a hurry, started erasing it when the gel was still wet. But I'm not worried about it because it's really not going to show up that bad. And you could make your lettering more straight, cleaner, whatever, but whoever is the author of this poem, I would love to give them credit for it. So if any of you have ever seen this poem before, you know who the author is, by all means, please let me know so that I can give them the credit for this poem. I absolutely love it. And I would want to make sure that I am not causing any harm or doing anything illegal. So if anybody happens to know who the author is, please let me know as soon as you know it, and so that I can give them credit. And now I'm going to sign and date it. And I'm going to just put mine down here inconspicuously in the corner. Voila. Now, signed and dated. Okay, guys, that's it for the painting. So my husband cut me two 16-inch and two 11-inch to make my frame. They're 1 inch wide, and I did them with chalk paint, and then I dry brushed them with the agave chalk paint. I glued them together with hot glue gun, and I used ice cream sticks just on one edge in the back, and then I placed craft paper I got from Dollar Tree on the back and glued it down as well. Once I flipped it over, I used the tacky glue from Dollar Tree and lined it really, really well, used my hot glue gun on the other edge of the ice cream sticks, and then pressed my canvas inside so it will fasten and stay for years to come. I smoothed it down and I placed a picture hanger onto it. This cute little 5x7 frame came from the Dollar Tree along with all the materials used in this part of the project. I disassembled it. It holds a 4x6 photograph, and I painted that plastic frame with Waverly chalk paint. I then traced out a template and a piece of cardboard to fit. Dollar Tree's chalkboard paper, I actually glued it to this after I covered it with the shelf liner paper, and that way it just camouflages that cardboard. Wrote in with the chalk markers that faith does not make things easy, it makes them possible. Scripture, Luke chapter 1, verse 37. One of my very favorite quotes from the Bible. I think it's the most riveting because it is so true. There is nothing you can't do with faith. And it does make everything possible. Don't make them easy, but it sure makes them possible. I reassembled this and I placed it by my coffee pot. Please stick around for the B-roll and you will see these finished projects. So life truly is your garden, and what your thoughts are your seeds. So this is not any weeds. These are wonderful herbs. Now this was a sample of the painting, and to give you guys a feel of my teaching disposition when it comes to painting. It's a great beginner piece. And if you'd like to have known all of this painting, do click on the link in the description box. It says the full painting tutorial, and it'll take you straight over there. And you can go along with me as I painted this piece from start to finish and learn all the tips and tricks and tidbits. I'm not a professional. I am an amateur, but I just love to paint, and I think you'll enjoy it. Now, here's my faith doesn't make things easy. It makes them possible. Luke 1, verse 37. And this is where God promises us, as long as we have faith, anything is possible. Well, guess what, guys? You've made things possible for me. I adore each and every one of you. I look forward to your comments. Please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, well, click that bell and become pals with me and join the gang. Until the next DIY, I love all of you. I'm looking forward to conversating with you in the comment box. Until the next DIY, this is Elizabeth. Over and out. Bye, guys.